Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex. This is Garage to Home here, where I'm converting this garage into a single family home. In today's video, we're going to have a lot to go over. One of the biggest things I'm most excited about is the rough-in plumbing. It got approved, which is great. So now we can move on with getting this concrete in. And for me, that's where the big changes start. So if you're not subscribed already, please consider it. That would be great. By the end of the year, I'd love to hit 25,000 subscribers. So again, if you're not subscribed already, definitely please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And yeah, so one of the biggest things we need to do is now prep that area for there to be concrete. And then also finish up filling up that pit there. So I just had 3 tons of gravel delivered. And we need to make sure that that gravel is put into this space here, so that way it is ready for concrete to be filled in. And any gravel that I do have left over, I don't think it's going to be a ton, but we can put that in the other area to help with drainage, right by the fence and everything. So, and then I'll eventually put fill dirt all over that and everything. So we have a lot to get to today. So let's just start moving. So one of the first things we need to do is use this tamper here and just get this as compact as we can. And then we're going to put the rocks in, tamper it down again, and just get this as tight as we can. Before we jump into this, just a huge shout out to Resale Rabbit. Sent me a t-shirt and a few stickers that'll eventually go on the ladder. I'm going to put his YouTube channel in the description, and feel free to check him out. Tell him I sent you. And again, I really appreciate it. It helps, again, making sure I have a few t-shirts. I can support who I can. And if you want to send one of your own, I have my P.O. box in the description as well, and I'll wear it on camera and give you a shout out. I literally just swept this entire place, and I know by doing this it's going to kick some dust up, so I guess it is what it is. Again, I'm on cloud 9 now that plumbing got approval. Not that I didn't think it was going to, but you just worry about every worst case scenario, I guess. Should probably wear a mask. Okay, this is pretty compact, so let's start filling up a few buckets and fill that up with rocks. Pack it down again and repeat. Oh, I just lost my headphone too. So I actually want to keep this ledge actually open, so when the concrete goes on top, it has something that I can stick to here. So it's going to be an extra inch and a half of concrete, but I think it'll get a much better seal if it's connected to that ledge right there. I get a lot of good suggestions on what tools or what I can use that'll make things easier. For instance, obviously a wheelbarrow here would make things so much easier, less trips. As I mentioned in a previous video, I am pretty cost constrained. I want to make sure I can afford everything. To be transparent, putting in this concrete is just under $6,000. So, you know, that's a lot of money up front. And I want to make sure I can afford everything. So I may be doing things the hard way, but I know that they are cheaper for me, I guess, in the sense. If I put a little bit of sweat equity into it, I could be saving money. So that's with some of the choices and some of the comments I get, and I do read them all. You know, a lot of the stuff could be easier, or obviously I could hire out a lot of it, but it's just cost constrained. So keep watching, keep liking, keep subscribing, and again, maybe some sponsorships will come by to make this a little bit easier for me. All right, that is very solid there. This might seem like a little detail or a small detail, but having this filled is a huge deal to me, and I'm very excited. All right, the next step is to do the same exact thing I did with the pit and fill this in over here. The only thing I do need to wait for, this is where, I don't know if you could see it on camera, but this is where the plumbing or the tub drain will be. I do need to build out like a little form here so that way when the concrete does get poured, this is still exposed and you can still access it to have a pipe come up for the actual toilet or the tub drain. So I'm gonna fill in everything over here, and then maybe when I get to here, I'll probably stop until I can stop at Lowe's. And then we still need to go outside and fill that drain up as well. I guess one of the things that the inspector didn't do, this is actually pressurized right here, and the reason why it is so there's actually backfill of water, and that's why that one pipe was so high. It's filled high with water. And it's just a way to check if there's any leaks or anything off of that. So we can actually do this together, and let's see what happens here. So you can't really hear it probably, but now the water right now is then draining into the pipe correctly. No leaks, anything like that. I didn't think there was going to be, but that's the reason why this is here, is to save some water so then they can hear that everything is draining correctly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off and we're gonna replace it with this cap here. All right, so that's off. You can hear a little bit extra of that water going. And so usually they inflate this and it covers up that whole spot there. But now that everything drains correctly, I am gonna get that tape to put around here, so I'm just gonna put this on temporarily. But that is gonna go right there, so I won't tighten that up hard. And now really all we have to do is fill up this side. So let's start with this section here. I'm back for day 2. We are going to fill the rest of this up. We're going to get that tape for the cap that I talked about, and then also we're going to stop at Lowe's and we're going to get wood to build that little form out. We also still need to fill in the outside area, and I guess just enough prep so then the concrete is going to come on Saturday. So might as well just start filling this up. All right, I got enough done for now. I just have to, again, stop at the store, but we can at least also start on the exterior side as well. So I did leave the fill dirt that we had, so this should fill a majority of it. And then anything that's not the top, we will use the leftover rock. Well, we still have a lot of rock left. Be careful around the pipe here. This is good to go for now. Let's stop at the store and let's get some supplies. All right, for this tape right here, we're just putting it around this space, and that just gives it a little bit of a tighter seal. I'm sure it has some waterproofing properties as well. I'm gonna go around maybe 2 times, and then we just put it over the lid there and tighten it up. All right, perfect. All right, now we could fill this space in here. I do have the wood, I just need to cut it to kind of fit right there, and then we're good to fill in the rest of the space. So of course I left my battery at my brother's house for my circulating saw, so I am gonna have to go back and get that before I can make these little cuts out for the pipe. And then I'm also going to get a little piece of wood right here, so that way when the concrete is poured it can get to the wall. For the time being though, I'm gonna fill this in and then stamp it down, and we'll see how it goes. This doesn't have to be perfect. I'm obviously not going to drive my car close to here, so and again, the main goal is to eventually have this covered with a fresh layer of pavement. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I doubt they make a quarter size bags of what I just bought, because I only need one more, only because I guess the perfectionist in me wants that to be no lip or anything. And also too, I figured I could probably put more on that backside as well to have the rain come away. So I'll get that whenever I get a chance. And so I'm gonna make the drive to my brother's. I need to cut a piece of wood to get underneath there. I might actually move some of that asphalt out now that I think about it, just because that might, you don't want those gases going inside. So I'm gonna make sure, obviously this will be cemented over eventually, and that way this hole can finally be plugged. All right, I stopped home and I got the battery, and I brought a friend with me too. So I know I'm not gonna be here long. I know the pit is covered, and he's gonna do his thing. So all I have to do is just cover those last 2 little pieces right there, finish filling in that rock, and I guess hang out with him for a little bit. So I did some measurements, and pretty much all I need, if I can get this pen to work, is like a 6x6 square, and I will then kind of drive that down into there. I'll probably make a little cutout so then the pipe can fit in there. And then I bought some foam as well, so I'll probably foam around the area just so no concrete can get in there. So let me mark this stuff out, and then we will cut it. I will probably cut it outside just so I don't scare Henry or anything. All right, and we'll do one more on this side. And then the leftover wood I have from this, I will use for the blocking outside into the area there. All right, let's take this outside, and actually 2, now that I think about it. I can go halfway, because I need 4 pieces for a square. So let's see, 24 and 12. All right. Of course the battery's dead. That's why we kept catching before. Oh. Well, the battery's dead, but I think we can at least get away with 3 of these. Make a little triangle instead of a square. That stinks. Came all this way for 2 minutes of cutting. Okay, so I was able to notch out a little piece with leftover battery somehow off camera. But instead, now that we have 3 instead of 4, I guess we're gonna make a little triangle rather than a square. But again, this is temporary. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's again, just one thing to keep the concrete from filling up in that area. You can come here. I know. What are you doing? Is this approved by you? All right, one more final bit of tape to at least get its form. What do you think? Does that work for you? Yeah? All right. All right, well, I'm going to tape this up a little bit more, and then we will put it in that area over there. So now that this is all filled in, though, I don't know if you can see it, but you can still see the tube in there, which will have access once the concrete is poured. Since my battery is dead, I am actually just gonna lean this up to here. This will stop at least probably it from coming out. And then I'm gonna foam on the inside just to get a little added protection from if they do lay the concrete, that it doesn't seep out. So I'm gonna have this here and then again, try to hopefully connect some foam to this. And I'll probably lean something up on it too so it doesn't try to move or anything. All right, I think that's where we are going to leave it off for this video. The people that are laying the concrete, they are coming here on Saturday. So Monday's video, definitely be sure to be subscribed so you can see the transformation of this place. I think that's gonna be one of the biggest things that's really gonna make this space feel like it's starting to turn into a house. So if you've gotten this far, I really appreciate it, and I know he does too. And again, feel free to comment anything about the filling in process, and definitely leave a like. And I will see you on Monday with hopefully a very big change.